What's up, GTC? This is part 2 of making a 2D platform in Godot. Today we're going to be going over terrain and also fixing our camera to our player. So this is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. We're going to go ahead and start off by making a new node. Select other node and choose tile map layer. So this is going to be the basis for our tile map and for any of the terrain and auto tiling that we're going to be doing. Um, Once you create this scene, you'll see it pop up in our little scene selector in a second after you save it. We're going to go ahead and click on tile set at the right. We're going to click new tile set, and you'll see at the bottom there's these two options, tile set and tile map. We'll go to tile set and drag in our tile set image. So I just went ahead and downloaded a random one off of itch, but you can go ahead and make your own. Just as long as each tile is the same size and are spaced evenly, then it should work perfectly fine as a tile set. So you'll see it pops up in our tile set setup here. And what we're going to be doing is creating terrain using these tiles. So in order to create terrain, we're going to have to configure it first. So under tile set on the right, we're going to go down to terrain sets and click add element. And this will create our first terrain set. And under our terrain set, we can add another element, and we can call this just wall. So now what we're basically doing is telling Godot that a group of tiles to be essentially wall tiles, and we want the wall tiles to stick together and form even layering, I guess you could call it. So under tile set, we can click on our tiles, and we can go to paint and select terrains. And under terrain set, we can select the terrain set that we just made and select the wall set that we just made. So now we can get to painting the tiles that we want. We're going to go ahead and only paint the inside of each tile. The reason we're doing that is because we want these tiles to stick together at these points. So essentially we're telling Godot right now that these inside points of each of these tiles is where we want this tile specifically to connect to the rest of the tiles. So as you can see for this tile, it's kind of going to be facing towards the outside to the left, so we're only going to be painting the right side of this tile. But for these corner tiles, we'll only be painting the top right corner of this tile because we want the bottom left to be facing outwards. So we're going to go ahead and do that for every single one of these tiles that we have here. Just clicking away. And then this inside tile we can paint fully because since it's an inside tile, it's going to be surrounded by tiles on all sides. And once we finish with doing that, now we can go ahead and finish with our setup and save this scene. We can go back to our level. I'm just going to delete the platform that we made earlier because we don't really need it anymore. And then we can drag our tile map layer scene into our level. So now that we have our tile map scene inside of our level, we can start painting with our terrain. So go to tile map and click on wall terrain. And you can see there's several tools here that you can use. There's a line, rectangle tool. You can just start drawing out bricks and start placing them. So as you can see, the inside of this block of bricks that I just placed here is all that inside brick, and the outside is kind of aligned with the tiles that we made earlier. So if we didn't set up the terrain that we did earlier, then it would look something like this, what you see with the same bricks over and over again. But because we told Godot which parts we want to be facing outwards, it automatically did that for us, and now you can see we have these nice, even, nice looking bricks. So, enough with that. If we go ahead and play test right now, you'll notice that our player kind of just falls through the bricks. You also notice the bricks are a little bit fuzzy. So, in order to fix that, we're going to go into our tile map layer, and we're going to fix the fuzziness the same way we did with our character. We're going to go down into texture, and inside of filter, we're going to hit nearest. And then in order to add collision, we're going to go to terrain layers, similar to how we did with the terrain sets, and click add element. And it'll automatically be on collision layer 1 and mask with layer 1. So now, since our player is on layer 1 and it's masking with layer 1, that means our player will collide with our terrain. So now you can play around with this if you want to, but for now, just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to leave it on both on 1. And in order to make our tiles actually collide with our player, because we haven't configured each tile to have that yet, we go into our tile set setup and click on paint. And then instead of painting terrains, we can now paint our physics layer onto our tiles. So what you can do is click on each tile, and as you can see, it automatically created this sort of square polygon on it, and then we can just go ahead and paint that onto each one of our tiles here. Now, if I wanted to paint a tile, say like the stair tile, that has a different terrain than just this, or not different terrain, a different shape than this just square brick, we can go ahead, click on it, and we can drag these polygon corners around a little bit to make it more accurate to the actual hitbox of the stair. So as you can see, I set it to this kind of triangle here, because that's how stairs kind of are. They're just basically triangles. And we can do the same for this one here too. Now, I haven't actually configured these as part of the terrain yet, but if I wanted to use these parts, I could just place them by myself. And now that we have our collision set up on these tiles, if we go back to our level and we save that, now if we were to hit play, you'll notice that our player collides with the ground and doesn't fall through, and the bricks are also not fuzzy anymore. So yeah, that's pretty much it for auto tiling and creating basic terrain. Another thing we can do is go into our player scene, and if you notice that while we're playing our game, our character the camera doesn't follow our character; it just sits in place. So if for most platformers, you'll have the camera either follow the player or have it cut along each room that the player enters. But for us, we're just going to add a camera to attach to the player so that it follows the character around. So for that, we're going to go into our character body 2D and insert a camera 2D. And this will automatically anchor the camera to our character so that when we hit play, you'll see that the camera follows the character wherever it goes. So from here, you can just kind of play around with the tile map that you just created. Just go ahead, go into our tile map, terrains, just go place down blocks wherever you want to. I'm on erase. Yeah, you place down blocks wherever you want to, kind of create your first level design, create some obstacles, some little jumps that you can have here, and use a pencil tool to individually place blocks. Just have some like this, have some like this. And you'll see the auto tile in action while you're placing these blocks. Now, it's not super smart, so you'll see obviously there's still some like edges here that it doesn't know how to work out. With that, you can just click on them and it'll automatically sort it out for you. You'll see once we built a little bit of a level here, our player can actually go around and navigate this little platformer level that we made here. So yeah, that's the end of this tutorial, at least for now. Go ahead, play around with terrains, see what you can create, and yeah, thanks for watching.